Hi guys, welcome back to DSS online classes. In the previous lecture we discussed about design procedure for purlins as well as roof trusses. Now let us come to today's lecture. So coming to lecture 3, we are going to discuss few problems on purlins as well as roof trusses. Before discussing problems, I want to give little bit clarity about span of the truss. This is the span of the truss from here to here. This is span of the truss. Span of the purlin is nothing but center to center distance between two trusses. So this clarity you should maintain. That means truss 1 to truss 2 distance is nothing but purlin span. That's it. Now coming to problems. In the previous lecture I explained about a design procedure. Now once again I will give brief about design of purlin. Just you should remember these 8 steps. These 8 steps enough for design of purlins. Coming to design of purlins, see, I will discuss only highlighted things because remaining things already I explained in the previous lecture. Coming to step 1, we are determining determine loads. Coming to step 2, determine moments. Coming to step 3, calculation of maximum bending stress. Determine loads means here there is a possibility of gravity load as well as wind load, because these industrial buildings it is having some slope because of the trusses. Top cut some inclination will be there. Now coming to gravity load, there is a possibility of gravity load means what? Gravity load, one load is acting downward to the direction means already it is having inclination. So because of that there is a chance of acting wind load as well as weight of the sheeting. Due to live load and sheeting etc., we will calculate gravity load. And second one is H is equal to due to wind load. Now coming to step 2, determine moments. Moments is nothing but already I explained you. WL square by 8 approximately we can take WL square by 10 for this lightweight beams. Lightweight beams means purlins. So for that reason this is in terms of newtons, P value in terms of newtons. So that's why this is a point load. P into L by 10 we can take. This is along UV axis and this is along VV axis in terms of Newton. Just now I explained. Calculation of maximum bending moment. This is very important. See, from the bending equation we can write F is equal to M by I into Y. So here that neutral axis to topmost layer distance we can take it as V, small v, and one more axis is there. For that reason I am taking small u also. So for that reason this is the biaxial bending. So biaxial bending. So for that reason bending stress will be MUU by IUU into V plus MVV by IVV into U. So this I by Y is nothing but section modulus. So here instead of Y we are writing V. For that reason MUU by ZUU plus MVV by ZVV. After that finally we have one formula sigma B, biaxial stress or bending stress. Bending stress sigma B is equal to MUU by ZUU into 1 plus MVV by MUU into ZUU by ZVV. This is to calculate bending stress. Similarly, if you want to calculate ZUU, that is section modulus along UU axis, then MUU by sigma B into 1 plus MVV by MUU into ZUU by ZVV. So this is very important. So after that, see, just now we discussed ZUU by ZVV. So without knowing ZUU by ZVV, highly impossible to calculate section modulus. After calculating section modulus only we can select one section. So for that reason we should assume this ZUU by ZVV value. These are the approximate values we can assume. For I section 6 to 10, for C section 7 to 9. These are the standard values given by S.K. Duggal. In S.K. Duggal textbook these values are available. So these, in between these we can assume one value, that is ZUU by ZVV. Then easily you can calculate ZUU. After calculating ZUU with the help of this ZUU from the handbook number 1, that means steel table, we can select a required section. So after selecting required section, then you can write all the details, required details, that is ZUU is equal how much and ZVV is equal how much, all those values. Already we have calculated MUU and MVV values. We have MUU, MVV and sigma B values. Only this value is pending. That value also we have assumed. Based on that assumption we have calculated ZUU. After calculating ZUU, again we will write ZUU and ZVV. That value again we will substitute over here. Finally we will get ZUU value. Coming to fifth step, here calculate permissible value of bending stress. Permissible value of bending stress is nothing but increment. Because of wind pressure, there is a increment in 33 of 1/3 percentage. So this is a permissible bending stress. So after selection of that junior beam, channel section or I section or angle section, whatever, purlin, we have to calculate, again we have to calculate sigma B. This sigma B is equal to MUU by ZUU into 1 plus MVV by MUU, ZUU by ZVV. Finally your value sigma B value you will get. This is the calculated sigma B value and this is the permissible stress. So your condition should satisfy. So if this condition satisfied, then your selected section is safe. That's it. So if you want to calculate classifications and also check for deflection, all those things you can calculate. That is the additional part. So similarly how we have calculated in the beams, in the same way we can proceed. But these 7 steps are very very important, and these 7 steps enough to design a purlin for both angle section, I section, channel section, whatever. But angle section some difference is there, I will explain. But coming to channel section and I section, for both cross sections these steps are similar. You can blindly proceed with these 7 steps. Now let us come to our problem. So problem given, for a roof truss system of an industrial building, following data is given. Span of truss is equal to 6 meters. Spacing of truss is equal to 3 meters center to center. Inclination of roof 30 degrees. Spacing of purlins 2 meters center to center. Wind pressure 1.5 kilonewton per meter square. Roof coverage, asbestos sheet weighing 200 Newton per meter. Design channel section purlin and angle section purlin. So this is our problem. Actually, if you understand how to design channel section, I section is bonus. So for that reason, in this problem, I am explaining channel sections as well as angle section. Then easily you can understand. Now coming to solution. For channel sections, just observe this one. So in this one diagram I have drawn both I sections as well as channel sections. just see here. Why? Because both are same. Just see, this is the top chord, this is inclination. So above the top chord there is a purlin. These purlins, gravity load will act downward to the direction, but this is the axis, UU axis, this is the VV axis. Why? Because this is our beam cross section is here. So coming to this beam cross section, along horizontal XX axis we will consider UU, along YY axis we will consider VV. For that reason here, so this is a horizontal to the earth, this is at bottom chord. So this downward to the direction means, so if you take a free body diagram, then gravity force from here you can calculate gravity force, that is P cos theta and P sin theta you will get. After that, due to wind load, that wind load is completely normal to the axis, so directly you can take. But here gravity load based on the live load as well as sheeting we will consider, that is gravity load. Now coming to load calculation, just see here, we have to calculate dead load. Dead load is equal to 2 times 200 plus 100, that is equal to 500 Newton per meter. Why? Because this 100 we are assuming, already I explained in the previous class, guidelines I have given, important note I have given. Assuming dead load value for purlins 100 Newton per meter, I am assuming here because we have range from 100 to some value. So for that reason 100 initial value I assumed self weight of purlin. Then coming to self weight of purlin 100, and this value roof coverage or asbestos sheet load also there. Dead load is nothing but both, right? Self weight of the purlin we have to consider as well as sheeting we have to consider. Sheet load plus sheet load 200, 2 times consideration, because on the purlin already we discussed pitch distances. So 200, 2 times 200 plus 100, that is 500 Newton per meter. Then we got 500 Newton per meter. Now coming to P load, this is W dash, 500 you can consider as W dash. P is equal to W dash cos theta. Here P is nothing but normal to the top chord. Normal to the top chord means here dead load, that is dead load acting with some inclination, that value we can consider W dash cos theta, that is W dash is nothing but 500, cos theta is equal to cos 30. Therefore P is equal to 433.01 Newton per meter. Total normal load is equal to W plus 433.01. That means what? W plus W dash cos theta. What is meant by W? W is nothing but normal axis load. Normal axis load means what? Wind load effect will be there. For that reason 1.5 into 10 power 3 Newton per meter wind load, that is for 2, that is pitch distances, 3000 Newton per meter. So total load is 3000 plus 433.01, that is your total normal load. That means here this is a total normal load along VV axis. We got P dash is equal to 3433.1 Newton per meter. Now just see here, similarly there is a along UU axis also, because of this inclination there is a value. That value we can consider H is equal to W dash sin theta. W dash is nothing but 500, sin theta is equal to sin 30, therefore H is equal to 250 Newton per meter. So this is about load calculation. After calculating the load, next we have to calculate maximum moment. Coming to maximum moment, because of that inclination, along UU axis we have to calculate, as well as along VV axis we have to calculate. Coming to MUU, in the previous class we discussed, MUU is equal to P dash L by 10, MVV is equal to H L by 10. Coming to MUU, P dash L by 10, P dash is nothing but 3433.1 Newton per meter. So this P dash value is point load. For that reason, here WL square by 8 consideration for 3433.1 into 3 into 3 by 10, the total value is 3089.79 Newton meter. Finally, our value is MUU is equal 3.08 into 10 power 6 Newton Mn. In the same way, MVV is equal to H into L by 10, that is H value is 250, 250 into 3 into 3, L value is 3 by 10. Now you got 225 Newton meter. Our final value is 0.225 into 10 power 6 Newton Mn. That is our MVV value. Now we got load calculation and moment calculation. We finished. Now before entering into the bending stress, we need to calculate ZUU value also. Before entering into ZUU, we need to calculate sigma B value also, and also ZUU and ZVV values, both values, these value also we required. Now just now we discussed some ranges are there. Coming to ZUU by ZVV, I am assuming 7 because of channel section we are discussing now. So after assuming ZUU by ZVV value, that is 7, next requirement is what? What is our next requirement? Only sigma B. This is the bending stress. Now sigma B is equal to, what is sigma B? Sigma B is nothing but, in account of wind load, sigma B is increased by 33 into 1 by third of percentage. Therefore sigma B is equal 1.33 into 165. How you got 165? Sigma B is equal to 0.66 into F5. This is a permissible bending stress. Now you got sigma B is equal to some value. After that, just see here, ZUU is equal to, this is permissible, that means what? Requirement. ZUU is equal to 3.08 into 10 power 6 MUU value by 1.33 into 165 sigma B value plus into 1 plus 0. MVV is equal to 0.225 into 10 power 6 by MUU is equal to 3.08 into 10 power 6. Now we assumed ZUU by ZVV value as 7. Finally, after calculation, we will get ZUU is equal 21.21 into 10 power 3 mm cube. In terms of centimeter cube, we will get ZUU is equal 21.21 centimeter cube. Now based on that ZUU value, from the handbook number 1, that means steel table, we can calculate, we can select a section from that steel table, because we have ZUU is equal 21.1 centimeter cube, that means 21.1 into 10 power 3 mm cube. Now from the steel table, ZXX is equal to ZUU is equal 24.8 into 10 power 3 mm cube for ISJC 100 at 5.8 kg per meter. So that means our required value is 21.1. Now we are proceeding with, we are trying with 24.8. Then our selection is okay. Similarly, for that section, ZVV value is 4.8 into 10 power 3 mm cube. Now take the ratio of these two values. ZUU by ZVV is equal 24.8 into 10 power 3 by 4.8 into 10 power 3. This value 5.16. this value should be less than your assumed value, less than your assumed value, then only your selected section is safe. Here only you can select, here only you can confirm. So as per bending calculation, see, this is the, if you want to design a beam complete calculation is based on section modulus only. So here section modulus satisfied, then it is okay. So after that we have to cross check bending stresses, whether stresses are within permissible limits or not. Bending is within, moments are within permissible limits based on this ratio ZUU by ZVV value. This is clear. Now coming to, because of this is a lightweight beams, we can conclude with these ratios, section modulus ratios along UU axis and VV axis. Coming to bending stresses, bending stress is equal 1.33 into 165, that value 219.45 Newton per mm square. This is permissible. This is sigma B is because of that wind pressure 1.33 into 0.66 into Fy value is 250. Finally we got 219.45 Newton per mm square. Coming to calculated value based on our moments, sigma B is equal to MUU by ZUU into 1 plus MVV by MUU, ZUU by ZVV. This ZUU by ZVV value, now we have to substitute this ratio as 5.16 only instead of 7. Then only our selected section, whether satisfying the bending stresses or not, we can cross check over here. So after substituting all these values, finally we got sigma B is equal to 171.5 Newton per mm square. This is the calculated value. This is the permissible limit, 219.45 Newton per mm square. That means what? Our selected section satisfying bending stresses and also bending moment. Okay, so this is about channel section, design of channel section. Hope everyone is clear about channel section. This is I am concluding as part 1. In the next video I will explain about angle section problem. So that is part 2. So now I am sign off with this part 1 video for design of purlin. Thank you.